The time is 6:30 p.m. and the Louisville Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of Tuesday, January 7th, 2020 is now called to order, and we do have a quorum present. First item is approval of the minutes of the December 17th, 2019 meeting. For no additions or corrections, may I have a motion to approve as presented.
Move to approve.
Was approved by Karen,
Second.
seconded by Alvin. Those in favor signify aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries unanimous. Item number 3 is a regular hearing for plats. It's 3A. It's the final plat of Josie Lane Elementary School Edition. It's on 17.505 acres. It's out of the RF Hardin Survey, abstract number 613. It is zoned Public Use District, PU, and it's located on the west side of North Josie Lane, approximately 430 feet south of Windhaven Parkway. Jonathan?
Good evening, Commission. This plat was submitted in compliance with House Bill 3167. Staff has reviewed the plat and has found the following discrepancies. Regarding Section 6-21 of Louisville's Code of Ordinance, all title opinions are required with right-of-way dedications. Regarding Section 6-73 of the General Development Ordinance, all plats require a tax certificate. There was various labeling errors and a sheet size for review copies. Staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission disapprove the final plat of Josie Lane Elementary School Edition for the deficiencies listed and delegate to staff the ability to accept and approve the plat once the listed deficiencies are corrected.
Okay, Commissioners, questions, concerns, anything? Okay, at this time, may I have a motion on item 3A, final elementary school edition, Josie Lane?
Move to disapprove the final plat of Josie Lane Elementary School for the deficiencies, and the approved plat will be brought to the chairman for signature.
You may have a second.
Second.
Seconded by William. Those in favor signify aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4 is a public hearing for zoning and special use permits. It's consideration of the zone change request from General Business District, GB, to Old Town Mixed Use 2, excuse me, OTMU2, on approximately 0.667 acres. This is out of the J.W. King Survey, abstract number 696, located on the southeast corner of Elm Street and South Charles Street at 187 and 189 Elm Street. This is requested by Patricia Fant of G&A McAdams on behalf of Mike Johnson, the property owner. This is case number 19-11-2PZ. Jonathan?
Commissioners, Mike Johnson has recently purchased the property located on the southeast quadrant of Elm Street and South Charles Street and is looking to rezone the property from general business to Old Town Mixed Use 2 to open a feed store. Old Town Mixed Use 2 allows for a large variety of uses, including the feed store. The development is directly adjacent to the south and east is South Village, which is a single-family development and is also zoned Old Town Mixed Use 2. The applicant is proposing to operate out of the existing buildings, but is also proposing to make changes to the facades. All these changes will need to be approved by the Old Town Design Review Committee. This Old Town Mixed Use 2 zoning requires a 10-yard rear yard setback along the eastern portion of this property, which the existing buildings will encroach into. This item is proposed to appear before ZBOA for a variance for this encroachment on February 5th. This rezoning is in compliance with the Old Town Master Plan, which was adopted in 2003. Are there any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
This time we'll open up the public hearing. Anyone that wishes to speak, Please come forward, sign in, and state your name.
Hi, I'm Leanne Edwards, and I live at 111 Sumac, which are the new condos that are adjacent to this property. And I just had some questions as far as more detail on the encroachment, and also some questions about the general planning and zoning direction of properties that are so close to the central business district. So it's been my understanding that the main goal of the city of Louisville is to provide for much more of an arts district, food and beverage, entertainment district, for people to frequent and come to Louisville to get it to go from more of an agricultural, old town support feel to it, to more of a trendy upscale where we draw people in. The condo that I'm at is across from Witherspoon Distillery, which is a new property, draws a lot of people into there. And so my concern when I saw the sign go up was that a feed store is typically not a big draw for people. It's typically not a upscale place, whether it's a boutique or restaurant, that goes along with the vision of especially that area where even it's so close to that $35 million development that's coming in. And I understand the properties are being purchased. I also understand that the upgrade is probably to an advantage, the rezoning, because ultimately you could have businesses that come in on a lower level and residential that comes in above. But, I just questioned just kind of the overall vision of the Planning and Zoning Committee in this. I asked some questions today of Teresa as far as the upgrading of that property, which is very kind of ramshackle. The fence is very old, the property is very old, the building is very old. And she said there was nothing on file yet as far as what's going to be done. I understand that would be approved. So in the future, I was just looking for some clarification as to, the reasoning behind what's happening there.
The proposed zoning would provide consistency with all of the zoning in that area and in accordance with the Old Town Master Plan. The Old Town Mixed Use 2 District provides for a mixture of uses for residential, for retail, for restaurant, and for office. It's more of an urban-oriented designation meant to create more of an urban walkable environment. The feed store really falls in the category of a retail business, so it's currently allowed in the existing zoning, but we feel that Old Town Mixed Use would be a little bit more appropriate for the site. So therefore, even with the current zoning, the feed store would be allowed, because a feed store, again, is a retail business that is allowed by right in the general business district, which is the current zoning. It is also a permitted use in the Old Town Mixed Use 2. As far as compatibility with the area, we do have quite a bit of retail mixed in with the entertainment uses. It's probably a very good idea that we have a good mix and not have too much of one type of non-residential mixed in with the residential. Do want to note that this project will have to go before our Old Town Design Review Committee. They will have to provide concrete plans on their improvements to the exterior of the buildings. They will also have to submit an Old Town development plan as far as how they develop the site, as far as their parking, any pedestrian amenities, and so forth. Quite a few emerging Old Town areas in the Metroplex have similar businesses. They do kind of become a draw. A lot of the residents that live in these walkable areas do have pets and often will patronize these type of businesses for supplies to support their pets. But also a lot of times has fresh produce, items for for patio gardening, which is also very popular in these urban environments. So we could see that this could be a well-established use going forward. It could outgrow the space and move on, which would allow the property to be redeveloped in the future. We feel that this would be a good use for the site, given the fact that it's been vacant for many years. So we are encouraged by the owner's goals to clean it up and make it a productive site. I think that answered the other questions.
Partially. Yes, go ahead.
So I'm curious as to what the annual revenue is of the current feed store, and do they have statistics, or did they submit statistics as to how many people frequent that feed store, what the traffic is in and out? Do we have anything like that?
I'm glad to meet with you after the meeting. Those items are usually not associated with the zone change, like just basically the land use. And again, this is a unique situation since the current zoning allows this use, and so does the future zoning. It just, the zone change brings it more in line with the zoning in that area.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I'll be glad to meet with you after the meeting, and I can introduce you to the owners and could probably give you a little bit more information
That'd be
about
great.
the particulars of the business that's being proposed.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any commitment as to the amount of money that will go into the facade changes, or do we have any specific information on that?
Not associated with this case tonight, but again, I can meet with you after the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else? I guess I was a little concerned, or not concerned, what the products they're carrying is like 50-pound bags of soy meal, and maybe Patricia can kind of bring us up.
I believe the owner is present tonight.
Kind of give us a concept of what the store is going to look like and what you're going to go for a sign and the outside of the building and all that.
Yes, good evening. My name is Patricia Fant. I'm the applicant of this project. So as of right now, we have looked into elevations, and he is bringing all of that up to code, and he's making these buildings look extremely nice. What is inside the building, I can't particularly say. He can probably answer that better than I could, but it would be your general feed store, exactly like what Richard was saying, patio stuff, feed for different types of animals, and all of that would be indoors. You would not see any bags of feed out on the property or anything like that, just kind of laying around. This would all be an indoor, enclosed situation.
So there's a feed store in Grapevine,
Yes.
and I went there one time to buy some baby chicken stuff. So is this like kind of along that same?
I believe it would be
Vision?
similar. They have a lot of stuff outdoors. They have a lot of outdoor storage. So there wouldn't be any outdoor storage, but I would believe it would carry similar
The
things.
concept, okay.
But I believe the concept would be similar. Yes.
Anyone else?
Richard, what was South Village ever interested in this property? Could they have bought this property when it was available?
I'm not really sure as
So they weren't
as to
really-
the ownership or.
So they could have purchased the property as well, correct? And
I think there had been an interest, but again, that was between the past owner and the current owner.
I think also if you look at some of the other, like Aaron was saying, some of the other feed stores, I think you could probably, the owner hopefully will look outside the box and you know, you could have, I guess they assume they could have music there outside if they wanted to? Is that possible with their zoning?
Yeah, it's allowed in the Old Town Mixed-Use 2 zoning, as long as, you know, all the other requirements and guidelines are met.
Like I said, I assume that, like I said, people be coming from the neighborhood with pets, and like they mentioned in the application there, they have, they're gonna do a pumpkin patch, sounded like. And I guess they're currently doing a farmer's market too, correct? Where they're at.
That's what we understand.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Not really a question, just a comment. I'd like to really applaud this application.
Oh.
This seems like this is a very good thing that could, hopefully, the owners will take this and snowball into other things. It looks like the property is fairly large, that I'm always looking for other music things to be in, and so it looks like this could be an opportunity, hopefully, maybe in the future for them, which would lend to the more retail, getting people down there, and those kind of things. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, hearing no one else come forward, the public hearing is now, oh, wait a minute, we have one more, gentlemen.
Henry Romani, we developed the whole South Village back there. We are back into this property. As a matter of fact, I moved to Louisville, and my house is a couple hundred yards from this property. I don't see any problem. We are looking for more rooftop. We are looking for more support. That's why we are really suffering our businesses on Awesome Center. And I believe if it's going to be some entertainment, my house from the all those Old Town or downtown wines restaurant is only a couple hundred feet. I don't have any problem personally, as long as we put limited. If we can put the music to 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, something reasonable, we don't have any problem. I believe this is going to be an attraction for us to sell more home back there. We need to get more business. As you know, we are suffering because we don't have enough business, and rooftop, which is kind of catch-22. We need to bring more rooftop to bring people. At the same time, we need to bring business. I think a farmer's market is going to be really attractive for our place, as long as we limit it to make sure we don't have loud music after 9 or 10 or weekends, so we cannot, disturb our neighbors around. I love to see this project going.
Okay, thank you. Please sign in, would you? Sign in?
Yes, sir. No, I didn't sign.
Oh,
Sure.
okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? All right, the public hearing is now closed. Commissioners, comments? If not, may I have a motion on item 4A?
Motion to approve?
Motion by William. Seconded by Alvin. Those in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimous.
Thank you, Commissioners. This item will appear before City Council on February 3rd for its second and final public hearing.
Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, the last item is adjournment.
Move to adjourn?
Okay, Mary Ellen would like to adjourn. Is there a second?
A second.
Who said second? Oh, Aaron, second. Those in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.